Man, I missed that intro. Good evening, everyone. I am back because I felt very compelled to have a discussion about Halloween Kills. Everyone knows that I don't really do movie reviews. I give a perspective and I talk about how a film affects me. And it seems like, it going on a week that Halloween Kills has been released, that everyone is a fucking critic. So I wanted to talk about the film with my two favorite Michael Myers cosplayers because they were also the very first two people that I messaged me right after seeing the film last Thursday. And we're going to talk about, I think this will be a balanced conversation, but if anyone's actually in the chat, we'll talk about, we'll bring up some comments and whatnot and kind of dissect people's opinion because I want to know what you thought and why the fuck you thought what you thought, especially the haters, because I have things I want to say because I'm not about remakes. This is a good remake. With me tonight, again, my favorite cosplayer, Michael Myers cosplayers, and dear friends of mine. I have Jack Odinson, 1978. I just call him Jackson. What's up?
There we go. Hello.
And LA's favorite, at least one of my favorite, my top favorite. Sorry, Jackson, you're like on the same cusp, the two of you.
Oh, LA doesn't even know about me. It's okay.
That's such horse shit. They should know about you. We have the real Michael Myers, aka Rob, who came fucking prepared as always. We're going to be talking to Boogie Myers tonight. Boogie Geezer. I forgot how you mentioned it.
Boogie Geezer.
Boogie Geezer.
So,
Boogie Geezer.
I don't know. Chuck, do we have any comments or should I just go right into it? Okay. So, fuck it. A lot of times, it's a late night. It's like 7. What am I talking about? People will come in. People will watch later. But I have comments that I want to go over about the film. But first, I need to know what you thought of the film. But me, I go first. Let me bring up my notes because I had to write all about it. When the film came out. Now, I've been a Halloween fan since as far as I can remember. I think I saw the original Halloween when I was in 4th grade. And I grew up watching the franchise, showing it to my kids, freaking my kids out about it. So I consider myself a loyal fan of the franchise. I have my favorite films and I have my not so favorite, but I want to focus tonight solely on 2018 and Halloween Kills. Because when I had heard that there was going to be another sequel remake of Halloween, I was pissed. I loathe remakes. Okay, I don't give them a chance. I'll go watch them, but usually I pick them apart instantly. Halloween 2018 was actually something I didn't enjoy, even though I knew that I had to let go of Halloween 2, Season of the Witch, and every Halloween that came after that. I knew I had to let it go in order to grasp Halloween 2018. I actually had a hard time with 2018 when I first saw it in theaters. So then I had to watch it a few more times, and I kept watching because I love Michael Myers. I was trying to look past, what I saw as flaws, and now Halloween 2018 is probably my second favorite of the franchise. I love that movie. I could watch it with my family. My husband, who's never been a Halloween movie fan, loves Halloween 2018, so it's something we watch together. So when I saw Halloween Kills, I instantly loved it. 10 minutes in, I fucking loved it. I watched it over and over again because I wanted to find the flaws that everybody was talking about. Yeah, there's some little issues that were annoying, but again, what movie is perfect? But there were things that I overlooked that I was like, fuck it. There were some things that annoyed me a little bit that no one's talking about, so I'll bring that up after I get your perspective. Jackson, what did you think of Halloween Kills?
I loved it. Like you, I actually loved Halloween 2018 right away because I just got so excited. We hadn't had new Michael Myers in a very long time. Not since 2009, and the idea that they were going back and John Carpenter was on board, and I loved how they got him on board by saying, "Hey, dude, this movie's going to get made, whether it's with you or without you. You might as well play, and that way you don't think it sucks, So I thought that worked out pretty well. And I remember seeing it in the theater like 5 or 6 times, and of course buying the Blu-ray as soon as it came out. And I actually went. I hadn't watched it this year since probably last October, just because this year's been so nuts. Normally, I would watch 78, 2018, and Rob Zombie's throughout the year. The others come in and out like around September, October, or at other times too, but it's guaranteed September, October. But this last year was so crazy. I hadn't seen it in almost a year and watched it again and just went, God damn, this is such a good movie. And the parts that never really bothered me a whole lot, but bothered me a little, this time didn't bother me at all. So I was completely ready for Halloween Kills, and I had intentionally not watched any of the trailers or anything. I went so far as to temporarily unfollow anyone on social media who were posting clips or images from the trailer, because I know Blumhouse trailers. Well, like I told you that day, I posted the whole trailer, and I said, "Well, I'm glad I just scrolled because I didn't see it." But it's like some people, got on me about it, saying, "Well, why don't you just keep scrolling?" I said, "I did." It does. Sometimes you pause a little bit to go, "What is this I'm looking at?" Then before you know it, I knew of 3 kills I didn't want to know about before the movie. I knew of 2 plot points I didn't want to know before I saw the movie. So I said, "Okay, I'll just unfollow, and I'll follow them back on October 16th."
I love you.
Because it was like it meant that much to me, because the trailer for the 2018 movie is like that whole reveal of him in the closet was brilliant. It would have been even better if I had not known beat for beat how it was going to go down. So as soon as Vicky goes into the room, I go, "Yep, this is where she's going to mess around with Julian for a little bit. He's going to ask her to check the door, and Michael will be there to kill her." And that's exactly what happened. But this one, I knew nothing other than the couple of things that I'd seen and gleaned from social media, and just loved it. The flashback scenes were great, and when it was over, I just was so happy with it that I couldn't wait to tell you right away that I didn't like it. I loved it, and
Right.
yeah, it's just I don't know. I liked it just as much the second time I saw it. I intentionally saw it alone the first time, because I like to see movies that are important to me alone first, so I have no one else's influence at all about my feeling on it. Because sometimes you'll be watching a movie, then if your buddy next to you kind of has a comment or something, kind of makes you look at it maybe a way you wouldn't have looked at it before, like, "Oh yeah, you're right, that is kind of weird." And I'd rather just watch it myself, take it all in, and then just enjoy it.
Okay. All right. So I love and this is what I love about the fact that I can actually see these different opinions from my friends, because I love the fact that you were like, "No, I don't want," and thank you for not unfollowing me, because I was really upset. Because I know you were like, "Did you really post the whole fucking trailer?" And I didn't realize my mistake until you said it. I'm like, shit. This is one movie I've been looking forward to this year. Did I fuck up? And then they kept releasing trailers. Because yeah, you were right. Blumhouse trailers will seem to lag half.
I watched the trailers after I saw the movie, and I was so glad I hadn't watched them. I'm like, when Karen is going, "Michael, you want your mask?" I'm glad I didn't know that was coming.
So, and then, I thought the same thing. I actually feel like the trailer, and I'll give to you right now, Rob. I thought the trailer didn't give much away at all. I was happy with the amount of stuff I didn't know about the movie. So, Rob, what did you think of Halloween Kills?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was well written. I think it could have been longer. I think they rushed the ending too quick, and then David Gordon Green came out like the next day and released, "Hey, coming out on a specific day, we're going to go and put it out on Blu-ray. By the way, there's an alternate ending and 20-something minutes, I believe, of never seen footage," because they changed everything.
How are you going to handle that? Well, actually, what I want to know is, can you tell us when they're going to really? Did you notice too? I get excited. First, did you happen to notice? I already forgot what I was going to say. When is Halloween Ends coming out?
Next
Do you
year.
have the date?
They start filming in January.
Oh, I thought it was already done. Okay, because I thought that was supposed to
No, no, no,
happen.
no.
Okay.
Because of the pandemic, they couldn't go and do anything. So they held off, and they're supposedly the script's already written. They're ready to go, I guess. And they said that they're going to start filming in South Carolina at the beginning or the middle of January of 2022, and it's supposed to be released on October 14th of 2022.
Okay.
Next year.
Okay. And you guys, for anyone watching, please feel free to enter your comments or questions in the chat. We'll put them up on the screen and we'll bring them up. Actually, I remember what I was going to say, Rob, is that the next day I noticed that, or maybe it was a day later, that Halloween Kills official Instagram had said, changed it already to Halloween Ends. It went from Halloween Kills to Halloween Ends. So to me, it's like Christmas. I'm like, that's so cool. And another funny thing is when I had talked to you, Rob, I always watch my favorite movie stoned because I like enhanced experiences. And I'll reveal that I had a cold the night that Halloween Kills came out. I was going to go see it in theater, like force myself, because I don't think I'm loving the theater scene, but I had a cold, so I'm like, perfect excuse to stay in my jammies and eat my own snacks. I have an 82-inch TV. Like this does nothing for the visual, but we have a great big TV, like a home theater. We're good. So I was watching it, and COVID negative, by the way. I got tested because you can't just get a cold anymore. And the only reason why my behind the scene guy is coughing is because he's smoking. So, yeah. Okay. So do we have a comment or question? Oh, Horn Color. Hey, last night was awesome. Hi, do you feel like Halloween Kills lean towards servicing loyal fans first with the flashbacks and characters, and more towards the fresher audiences with pacing and gore? What do you think, Rob?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I don't know if you can see it. Hi, do you feel that like Halloween Kills lean towards servicing loyal fans first with the flashbacks and character returns, or more towards fresher audiences with pacing and gore?
I probably 50-50 both. Because I know that they wanted to do the 2018 Laurie's room where, you know, all the mannequins were and stuff like that. David Gordon Green wanted to do a flashback scene of Jamie Lee Curtis and the closet scene, and where Michael falls out of the, you know, gets shot by Loomis. And he was like, oh, you know, I want to redo this. He talked to John Carpenter about it because he was on set, and John Carpenter's like, you know what? Why are you going to do that? You know, they don't deserve to see this, you know, the fucking movie if they haven't seen the original yet. So what's the point? He goes, and everybody who's like seen the original, they'll automatically know. Why do you need to you know, put like another 5 minutes of extra footage that people would already know as far as a flashback? So,
you know,
I like what they did because everybody would remember at the end of Halloween, you know, he falls and, you know, he gets away and Loomis is like looking for him. So I like the fact of, you know, a young Hawkins, because they did mention in 2018, you know, that he was the first responder that was there.
Right.
So it was nice for him to see it. And then I know that there was a behind the scenes footage of some guy and he had an original mask, but it wasn't like a dead, you know, somebody just took a wide picture of like somebody wearing the original mask and him like standing there. And then as soon as you hear, you know, after Hawkins does his flashback scene, you're just done. And I'm like, oh my, that's from 78. I go, it's a flash. And then it says 1978. And I'm like, oh, it's a flashback. And the lighting on it, for one, the lighting on it, the way that that alley looked exactly like something from Halloween 2 when he's walking down the alley in Halloween 2. I mean, that's just perfect resemblance, and the houses were, you know, dead on that. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then they do the show up of his mask, and I was just like, yeah, that just, you know, that gave me chills just to watch it. Then you see the Myers house, which actually, I know in previous Halloweens, 6, 5, whatever, it looks like the Munsters house. It doesn't actually look like the Halloween, the Myers house. And which actually I liked, and I thought it was like really, really nice of David DeGordon that the house was blue. Just like the one
I
in
thought
South
that
Pasadena.
too. I thought
I
that
thought
too,
that was
oh my
really,
God,
really cool.
did they
So
do that?
I
But
mean, yeah.
you think it was for both? I thought, and what's funny is I thought I was high when I saw the movie, and after I talked to you, because I was like, oh, so good. I watched the most anticipated movies stoned because I like the enhanced experience. It doesn't make the movie any better or worse. It just makes it awesome. But I could have swore you said, and I'll get back to that question that Horn Caller posed. I could have swore you told me, I said, how did you like the movie? And I could have swore you wrote 15 out of 50. And I was like, Rob didn't like it. We're going to have a talk about it. I thought this was going to be a
Did I say 15 out of 50? I thought I said 15 out of 10. 10 out of 50, 15 out of 10 or something.
Right.
So I mean, I literally, I had to come home. I had to watch it on Peacock afterward, and I'm surprised Peacock put it on at 9 o'clock, our time. And I was like, oh, I thought they were going to go and throw it on at midnight. Like, oh, here's the actual opening. And then unfortunately, when I went, there was 2 little girls, probably like the ages of 3 to 5, in the kitty corner to me, screaming, I gotta go potty. And then the lady next to me with like her giant group saying, I don't want any of you guys to talk, and this guy over here doesn't want to hear you any of you guys talk. But she was the one that was talking, the one sitting next to me. And I was ready to go, excuse me, can you shut up? I've been waiting for this thing for 2 years.
So
that
goes to the question. This is why I don't miss the theater. It goes to the question: do you think those 3 and 5-year-olds, the new generation of Halloween fans, do you think they enjoyed the film?
Oh, you know what? I can put my hands up in the air and I can say, you know what? They're probably petrified, but they weren't crying like I want to go home or anything like that. And then literally I can probably see them going to a convention and saying, oh, look, there's Michael Myers. We just saw him on screen, and just give him a big hug afterward.
Can you kill
Let's
my
give
mom?
him a hug. Let's say hi to him. Take our picture. It's Mickey Mouse.
What do you think about the question that Horn Color posed?
I agree. Yeah, I think they did. I thought they did equally well. I think it's why I loved it so much, is because they kept it fresh and new, but gave us all these things that those of us that have been into it most of our lives would really love. And it's so it's like when we take new people there who maybe have not seen the original or haven't watched it as many times as we have, we're still going, oh wow, that's great to see this, and they don't get why it's great, but that's all right. They're still getting plenty that they enjoy as well.
And it's funny because I have 4 offspring, Italians, and sometimes I'm like, that's it, I'm putting you guys up for adoption. One of them, my 18-year-old used to, and I'll bring him up, I told him to come in and talk his shit tonight, just so I could yell at him, and I'll get to some of the funnier comments about it. But he called me on a rant about how he hated it because he didn't feel that, okay, this kid grew up on Halloween, obviously I'm his mom, he used to run anytime he heard the music play he was deathly afraid of not just the music, but in Halloween 2, the opening where the pumpkin has the skull in it. He was so afraid of that. So I don't think the fool has even watched a real Michael Myers movie until Halloween 2018, asshole. Because he came at me hard about how he hated Cameron. And I'm like, wait a minute, he dropped off. Like, what happened to Cameron? I always wondered that. What happened to Cameron in 2018? I loved his whole storyline. I loved what happened to that kid, because I didn't love it because I think that's when I started going, this is the first time in my life, in my 41 years of existence, that I'm actually unnerved by Michael Myers. Halloween Kills, as a longtime fan, to answer your question, Horn Color, he scared me for the first time in my entire life. I've always been aroused by Michael Myers. Even at age 10, when I first saw it, I was like, I like him. There's always something about Michael Myers because I think he's a quiet male. And I think that's about it.
Did you see the deleted scene with Cameron from the Halloween 2018?
I didn't, because you know why, Rob?
Okay.
Because our house is digital and we don't have any fucking we just got Blu-rays. I'm so ashamed of ourselves.
Hey, it's they should have had it on Blu-ray. So what happened is that he was talking crap Allison left, and he's talking, or no, Allison was there, with Oscar. And so what happened was he's talking mad crap because he's drunk to a sheriff's officer. And I believe I don't remember the flashback very much, but I remember it's either one, he got arrested or he got questioned, and he told Allison and Oscar to leave, and then that's when both of them like left.
Yeah, that's
you know what, yeah, and actually, you know what, I think that would have been good if he threw that snippet, even if we've seen it. They threw that snippet, then they go and put him in saying, hey, Oscar, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of people probably didn't see that deleted scene. Like, well, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
And at least they could have put that deleted scene, because that would have fit into like him, like, oh, here's this. And then he walks away. Then it can go to the balloons. Hey, Oscar, blah, blah, blah. Because everybody knows what happened to Oscar.
Excuse me.
Even though that I did, I did kind of like feel bad because, during the riot scene of, he must die and stuff like that. She sees her son like on the gurney dead, and when, his lip is impaled and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's just heartbreak.
I love that kid. Even in Fear Street, I loved him, even though he just gets off. I'm going to go to a couple of comments that I received on Instagram today, because I posed the question, what did you love, hate about Halloween Kills? And I'm going to just keep rolling with Horror in Colors thing, because, again, the film, to me, in my opinion, did cater to both. The movie was made by Halloween fans. Okay? That's what I loved about it. This wasn't a fuck you, or... I feel like it was carefully grained and carefully planned and beautifully written. I thought it was great. But then you have some of my friends and followers who I'm not afraid to say, I'll pick apart your opinion. Len is the name. Len was the first one to comment today. He said, to me, Halloween Kills lacked suspense and the kills were borderline corny. I would blame saying, oh, you're a child. You're like some 20-something-year-old who hasn't seen the film before. But Len is our age. So I was like, I'm biting my tongue.
Thought the kills were corny?
The kills were... Let's talk about Halloween 18. That was by far the most brutal I've ever seen Michael Myers. Okay, he impaled someone with a shotgun. Okay, he impaled a blonde with a shotgun in Halloween 4. I mean, who does that? Michael Myers doesn't need a motherfucking gun. He's always been the best at murdering people. However,
he doesn't know how to pull a trigger.
I have heard people heard. He didn't pull the trigger, did he? I don't remember him pulling.
No, he doesn't know how.
No, he never pulled the trigger.
He stabs and bludgeons
with
them.
Yeah, he's a creative killer. But I did hear, not just from people like Len, that he went all Jason Voorhees. I don't care. Okay, he was so good. I was like, fuck, he's stomping on heads and shit. And I had to warn my husband, because he doesn't do head trauma, even in horror films. He has an issue with head trauma. And I'm like, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of that in this one. But the thing was, there was no corny kill. I don't know what you're talking about. Rob, you did tell me that you did have an issue with him stabbing the old man in the back with all the...
Well, I mean, you can make a meme out of it, because like the old man is like, bent over, and Michael's standing right behind him, like.
But did you notice he kept looking at the wife as he did it, and I'm like, oh, he's malicious.
But he was. I think, you know what? I want to go and then I want to go and comment about the most corniest kill. Let's go and talk about Halloween Resurrection, where he goes and like takes every single knife and impales the freaking cook guy with every single knife into the freaking wall. All right, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. All you need is one knife and get him, and then he's done. Okay, so
I just think maybe Len watched the wrong movie.
I think it's like something about that. Like, because the wife or stuff like that. I was like, man, they're gonna have Cheez-Its. I want Cheez-Its now, and
charcuterie board.
He was just I kind of want to say it was maybe like a nod or something like that to Tyler Mane from Halloween 2, where he's constantly just brutally stabbing
that could be, yeah.
The nurse a little bit, where he's just like, okay, here.
I forget that
here,
movie.
but I think maybe it's like I don't want to go too in depth with it because it might not be right, and a lot of people will probably go, "Oh, you're wrong." Maybe he was looking for the right knife because as soon as he had it, he's like, "Oh, I like this one," and he just
That's the
walked
way I
away.
took it.
thought.
That's the
That's
way I
what I
took it.
took it too. So the three of us
Like,
didn't agree that maybe he was looking for the right knife. I thought that's what he was doing.
yeah, it's like this one's too small. Nah, that
Yeah.
one's too light. No, that doesn't have enough blade. Oh, this one reminds me of the last one I had. Okay,
Yeah.
I can go with that. You
What do
know.
you think of Len's comment, Jackson, that it lacks suspense and was borderline corny?
I don't think this person actually watched Halloween Kills.
Maybe he watched.
It doesn't sound like they did. I mean, there was plenty of suspense, I would think. But you know, I mean, it's, you know, their opinion is their opinion. But I can't imagine any of those kills coming across as corny to anybody. I'm trying to think of any one of the closest one to not even corny, but maybe the least satisfying because he didn't actually physically touch her was when what's her? I think was her character named Candace, maybe? No,
yeah,
Vanessa.
the nurse.
The nurse. Well, but at least she's a doctor, but she's dressed as a nurse, and she has the gun, and he kicks the door, and so she shoots herself.
That
was kind of. I thought it was good.
That one, I started laughing at that. I really,
yeah.
I think I was the only in the movie theater that was laughing about that. And I'm like, I just kept on thinking of The Purge. It was just like something from The Purge, like that would happen in The Purge, the Forever Purge or something like, you know.
And that's a Blumhouse thing.
Is it The Purge?
Yeah.
Blumhouse?
Yep.
Dude, did we just uncover like a nod to The Purge? Write that down.
Maybe it was.
Someone write that down. Okay.
But also, I mean, I also thought it's like maybe they didn't come up with anything for her to die from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was more of like, okay, here's the doc. You know, here's the husband. He gets the knife in the eye, which I thought it was brilliant because he was just,
that was
you
really
know,
good.
I went like, oh, I kind of like got a little bit upset that freaking Marion Chambers went down just like this, like a snap, and then her character was like, "Hey, Michael, this is for Dr. Loomis." I was like, "No, you don't need to say that, really." Like, I mean, if you knew, and it was funny, it's like because she was talking, oh, he's more fierce because of the doctor. Like, you knew that was Michael Myers. I bet your old ass would have gone out and freaking. You should have done, and what you should have done in Halloween 20 is the fact to go and call the cops.
Yeah.
You know, not like, hey, this
that has been satisfying to see.
You know, this is, but for, you know, her to go, oh, hey, this is for Dr. Loomis. I was kind of like shaking my head, like, no. So and then, you know, him like stabbing, and I was like, oh. And then they did the scene like they did in Halloween 2018, the shot of his mask while, you know, she's dying, you know, and him breathing and him tilting.
That was another thing too that my kid had brought up, my 18-year-old, who I'll just bring up his little things like, and my 15-year-old, what is with these kids that need to have an answer to fucking everything? I want to see what Michael Myers looks like. When are we going to see it? I'm like, isn't it better if we don't know? But if you really want to see him that bad, go follow James Jude Courtney. Okay? There.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So with that, because, you know, this one's for Len, what was your favorite kill in Halloween Kills? Jackson, I'll start with you.
Oh, geez. Maybe Cameron.
Cameron's was good.
The way he stopped as he's going down the stairs, and it looked as if he looked and went, no, not quite. Okay, there.
He had a choice to make, and that's where I was saying I felt unnerved by Michael Myers for the first time in my life. I was a little nervous going up my stairs later on that evening because I'm like, I have all this Michael Myers shit, and you know, but I still love him. He just wants to go home. But then,
just let him go.
Yeah, my favorite kill was, let's not talk about Big John and Little John just yet, but is when he killed Bill. Can you imagine being stabbed anywhere in your body? I've thought about, it would hurt if I got stabbed in the pit. That would suck because, like, that's a lot of flesh to go through before it hits the bone. Mm-hmm. Never did I think the most painful way to get stabbed is in the fucking armpit. Like, ow! That has to be horrible because Big John had like full brought Michael Myers stuff, right? I thought he was gonna make his head explode, to be honest with you. Practical effects, again, that was my favorite kill. because Big John's death. What about you, Rob? What would you say your favorite kill of Halloween kills was?
I did like Cameron's death in a way because he kind of treated him like a little ping pong ball, like in a when you're playing ping pong, like a pinball. It's like ding 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 ding, and then finally boom, tilt, like he's just sitting there playing because he knows Allison's watching, so he's just like sitting there playing, with his head, like okay. But then I looked, I go, oh, he's not dead. So it's like either he's going to push down on him more, or he's going to break his neck because he didn't have that yet in any of the Halloween. So then that happened.
Hey, that's a good point.
I would say there was two because I liked the special effect on one of it. And I know that there was a ban, on firefighters and stuff like that. I read
thank you for bringing that up.
There was a giant thing about the first responders and stuff.
Tell me.
But
we're interrupting this program for that, Rob. Because I have a whole thing about
the first one was when he comes. Yeah, when he comes out and then he nails the first one, inside the basement, and you just see the glass of his mask, but then there's nothing of his face because he just with that brutal, double tool that he had. And then the second one, I literally, because I cringed because that guy literally, I don't know if it was a special effect voice, if it was the actor or whoever it was. But it was the Jaws of Life paramedic or, first responder that he went like this. And you just hear him going, blah, and then he's fighting his way. And then it goes into one of the firefighters, mask things. And you just hear him. And you just know. And it's just like that. And then it cuts. And you're just oh, damn. Because they don't show anything in the trailer. It just, you just see it.
Yeah.
But adding him doing that, oh my God! That was that was harsh. Those
Jackson,
two,
yeah, those were good. Jackson, I was gonna say when we saw the trailer, those parts of the trailer, that was one of those things I was like, I'm not mad that I saw the trailer because we didn't get that perspective from that firefighter. Rob, thank you so much. As if in cue, this was a scripted show because it isn't. You brought up the firefighter controversy, and I didn't know anything about this today until I watched a particular TikTok from someone, and I'll put it in a minute. Can you just briefly describe what you've heard about the whole first responder?
I guess some people were ticked off and stuff like that. They, I guess that somebody saw the trailer and. It shows Michael Myers killing, the first responders and stuff like that. And they said, well, these people are heroes and they don't deserve such a thing and
okay.
stuff.
So hopefully some first responder who was upset by this watches this video that I'm going to play right now. Don't leave, you guys. Just stay. Mike or Robin, I called you guys Mike. Jackson and Rob, stay here for a second. I'm going to play a video from one of my other favorite humans on the planet and a first responder himself. Roll that.
Apparently people are taking issue with the movie Halloween Kills, specifically because Michael Myers kills a bunch of firefighters in the film, which as a firefighter, I gotta tell you, I don't give a shit. He's a fucking horror movie monster. Yeah, of course, he's gonna kill everybody. But this is discounting the fact that he's killed hundreds of women and some kids too. So that wasn't enough, but apparently oh God, the firefighters, you can't kill the firefighters. It's just such a ridiculous double standard. And I think it just maybe has a little bit of commentary about what we value in this country and who we value in this country.
There's always a deeper meaning to our shit. So if you're going to be offended, you can't say, oh, well, Michelle Holloway, that is Dusty, the lead singer of Vision Video, is a first responder, a fireman, a paramedic who is also bisexual, queer as fuck, and is in a goth band, who has the voice that can match Robert Smith. Seriously, it is a fucking movie. Okay?
Yes.
And we know Michael Myers doesn't give a fuck. He does not discriminate. He doesn't give a fuck. If you are in his way, have we ever solved the mystery as to why Michael Myers is the murderer that he is? No, he just does it. He doesn't give a fuck. And here's the thing: you're gonna come at him, okay? I hate cops, okay? Cops are just a no-no to me. However, I love firemen because firemen are actual heroes. Now, if cops were like cops, like in the show 911, I love that show 911 by it's on Fox. It's a great show. If there were cops like they were really like that, it'd be pretty rad. However, they're not because it's again a fucking show. So it's not based on actual reality. Michael Myers doesn't give a fuck if you're a first responder or a woman with big tits. So again, heard it from a first responder himself. It doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal. And also, have you ever heard a controversy where, oh, well, Michael Myers is just too violent. He shouldn't be killing all those women. No, you don't ever hear shit like that because we women actually love Michael Myers anyway.
Yeah, and he's killing men as well as women.
Like,
yeah,
so
exactly.
many women. So many women. And
but I mean, you can always go and argue the fact through like way back in the 50s. Classic example. I mean, if we're going to use fire, first responders and everything, well, I'm just going to go and drop the military in there. What about War of the Worlds, Independence Day? They destroy humanity.
Mm-hmm.
They destroy the government. They destroy I mean, you see a fire truck flying in the middle of the air, because of the nuclear destruction that happens, and
it's like
if the world,
Twister, the movie Twister, the vegans being upset about the flying cows. Like, calm the fuck down. Well, Misfit Nightmare says, I love Michael Myers no matter what he does. He's one of my favorites. Us too, Misfit Nightmare. Us too.
There was this one thing. Now they're sitting there saying that the big giant headline is that Michael is homophobic and that's why he killed
I saw that today too. I saw that
like, get off of it.
I was also waiting for that to come up too, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Horror in Color has a question. Can we please address the worst death? They built all this potential for the nurse character, and Michael didn't even really kill her. She just shake my head. Jackson, bring this up because I was like, I was upset that I laughed at that because I was like, she had her shit together from the get-go, from the first,
she did.
From 2018. She didn't forget her stethoscope. She's like, come the fuck on. She had everything together. Honestly, that's some shit I would do.
Yeah, I really liked her too.
That was a bad death. But again,
I think the other reason I would choose that as the worst death is because I had to choose something, and there has to be a last place because even still, it wasn't bad,
Right,
I just kind of wanted her. I was wanting her to do more, but that's just because I was liking her. But it's like, well, I also want him to kill everybody, so she has to have her turn.
Dude, these Halloween movies play with our emotions. Okay, I'm going to go to another comment that I got today from Sylvester Barzy, who is an independent author that I absolutely love and has answered questions about my own writing endeavors. When asked the question, what do you love, hate about Halloween Kills? Sylvester said, love the kills, hated Tommy in the town. I mean, I was disappointed with Tommy. I didn't hate anything about the film. I was just disappointed about Tommy because I wanted more of him and Lindsay. I wanted more of them. And then it's like Michael Anthony Hall. It seemed like he was playing his role in Edward Scissorhands again. And I fucking hated the town. Jamie Lee Curtis said it best, you fucking sheep. Because how much can we relate to that? Did they even know what they were running towards? Did they have any clue? They're just like, oh, hey, everyone's doing it, so we're going to run too.
Well, no, because they sat there and said, because what's his name sat there, Anthony Michael Hall was like, it's Michael. And he pointed, that's Michael. And then they're like, oh, let's go and chase after him. Even though I want to say, I don't know. Because he was in the first one. And I like the Easter egg that they did for that because when he was sitting in the car, they were playing the Figaro, which was the guy in the wheelchair with the glasses saying, Figaro.
Chuck thought that was him. Chuck thought that was him.
So,
I was like, is it him?
but they played that in the hospital. But remember that they had records in the hospital to calm the patients. And then when Aaron and stuff like that went out to visit Michael, and he pulled out the mask, he's like, Figaro, like that. So I was like, oh. And then I believe his name could have been Mr. Tabali, because he sat there and says, the gentleman right there with the umbrella has a fascination with shoes being untied. So you need to tie your shoes. So that was him that jumped out of the committed himself off of suicide. So yeah, that was Mr. Tabali, because he was like the gentleman, but everyone says it was the Penguin. They had like this quote up there, oh, the Penguin. Well, he kind of did, because he had an umbrella, and he kind of looked like Danny DeVito a little bit. Yeah,
he did kind of look like the Penguin.
And let me stop you really quick. I do want to ask, leave that comment up, please. Jackson, what did you think about Tommy in the Town, really quick?
I was getting frustrated with them, but I think I was supposed to. And,
I think that was the point.
But I was really, as far as Tommy, I was really happy with Anthony Michael Hall. I thought he did a great job. He almost felt as if he had been there from '78, just the way he related to Jamie Lee Curtis so well. And like that whole speech when he's like, you protected us when we were kids, I'm going to protect you now.
That was sweet.
That brought a tear to my eye. And because I remember originally, because I like him as an actor, so I thought I wasn't unhappy with his casting, but I thought, you're bringing back Kyle Richards, why not bring back Brian Andrews? He's active again. Maybe he just doesn't have the chops. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. I wonder why they didn't bring Danielle Harris in to play something. I would have liked to see her play.
Oh, that'd have been cool.
Karen. I would have loved to see her play Karen instead of what's her name. And I'll get to my gripe about her later. I'll go to Misfit Nightmare. I hate to say this, but this weekend I'm planning on watching the movie. Are you telling me you're watching this if you didn't see the movie? What did I say? I said we're spoiling the fuck out of this. My favorite part of the going to the movies is hearing people's reaction that I would be the only one who doesn't get scared. I said that too. I've never been afraid of Michael Myers, but I got afraid. So I want to know what your reaction is. Okay, so then I have another comment. Black Horror Icon. Dialogue was not great. Kills were brutal as hell. I disagree. The dialogue to me was actually flawless. I saw a lot, like again with the new characters and the flashbacks, to me were seamless. They fit together. They answered all the questions that I was asking about 2018. What happened to Cameron? I knew Tommy and Lindsay were coming back, so I thought the writing was excellent. It was like you said, I think we were supposed to hate the town, and we were supposed to get aggravated with Tommy. But my most hated, and I wouldn't say I hate it, it was just, again, part of the appeal because I know the people who made this film. I also say I hate Danny McBride. There's something about him that aggravates me, but the man can fucking write a horror film. The man is great at writing. As far as like who he is, I don't. There's something about him I don't like, but clearly he's brilliant. So, however, so it's funny because I'm thinking about the people who wrote the film, and my gripes with the film were Karen. I can't stand Karen. I didn't like her. I didn't think she was worthy to be Laurie's daughter. If she would have gotten off in the first one, I would have been in Halloween 18. I would have been okay. She's wearing a fucking Christmas sweater the whole fucking movie. Why is no one upset about this? And I know the writers are doing that shit on purpose because every Halloween fan in the world who loves Halloween gets upset when they see Christmas shit invading on our Halloween shit.
You still didn't get that little Easter egg. You still didn't get the Easter egg in the beginning of Halloween 2018. You still, because she's like, you guys need to celebrate Christmas and just skip this.
Yep.
I don't remember that bitch.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Now I know what I'm doing tonight. So
that's what Vicky says.
It's when they were walking to school. Yeah, when Vicky was.
Yeah, Vicky says it to walking to school. Allison.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, oh, you guys need to just, skip Halloween and just go to Christmas.
I am mad. Mad.
See, and I kind of liked the Halloween sweater because I don't like it. Because it's like it irks us, but it represents how much Halloween bothers her. That she's like, fuck this night. I'm going right to December 25th. I mean, she doesn't even care about Thanksgiving or my birthday, the bitch.
She's actually like Michael's store when I went in there today. It's like They had like 3 aisles already with artificial Christmas trees already up and everything. And then here's this itty bitty little aisle, 50% off, 60% off, freaking fall and Halloween decor. I'm like, really already?
Can I brag a little bit? And I'll get to the comment in a moment. Living in the Pacific Northwest, we got shit later, a couple weeks after you SoCal folks did, in the store. So I went into, you guys don't have this down there. It's called Fred Meyer's. I went in there yesterday, and there's still like 4 aisles worth of Halloween shit. Now, I refuse to go to Michael's. I refuse to go to Bath & Body Works. I refuse to go to fucking, actually, I am going to Spirit still. I usually go to Spirit right till the very end. But that Christmas shit. But I thought, again, it was brilliant because they knew how to aggravate us Halloween people. Even though I didn't catch that in 2018. Joanny Man said, I love the movie, even though my husband kept complaining about all the characters. What did he have to say? I want to know what my husband thought of the movie. My husband loved 2018. He loves, again, not a fan of the franchise, but he loved 18. I want to know what my husband thought of the film. If you want to type in a comment for yourself, and Joanna, I would like to know what your husband said. And in the meantime, Rob, why don't you start showing off your goodies?
I don't want to yet.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Oh. Here, I'll go.
Meant.
I'll show the Marion Chambers.
Oh, nice.
What he's up to. Look at this. So I asked Rob, did you sleep after watching Halloween Kills? It doesn't seem like it because he went right into intricately designing the
and then here's the husbands.
Yep. That's
sick.
That's very cool.
And then hang on real quick, I have it back here. The actual
oh, very
so
yeah.
Only one that has all this.
Which was signed
by
the nurse.
Oh, so
and then
dope.
Where's it at? Oh, he's way in the back. There he is.
I love it. How many times have you met James Hugh Courtney? How many times have you met
Too
him?
many. I wanted Chris Nelson to sign this, but he was like leaving and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, dude. But I did show him this, and he's like, dude, that's like spot on. Because I had it on a dummy.
A glass case? Are you going to put them in a case?
I don't have cases yet. I mean, look, I don't know if you can see, but there you go. There's all the.
We got to get you what.
We
got to get you what's his name has. We did the podcast with him together. I forget. I'm drunk and a little stoned. Keep showing off, please.
I guess, and so that.
If anyone's watching that does conventions, can you please let us know if this is okay?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Are you going to do the reveal of the next one? Because that's what I'm most excited about. You don't
Which
have
one?
to.
I love this kill
You
too.
haven't showed anyone today. Fucking John.
The one you showed us earlier.
The one you showed us earlier?
Before we went live.
The kills mask?
No.
No, the one that he killed the lady through the throat with.
Oh, the fluorescent light bulb.
Yep.
That's my favorite. That was one of my favorite kills because I love that couple. I'm going to do one more comment. And John DeWarty, what's his damn Instagram name? I always forget. Big Johnny D? The real Johnny D. So Evil dies tonight. No, Evil doesn't die tonight. He dies in 2022, apparently. Until, there it goes. Smart ass. One more comment that I received on Instagram from Carter, 1914 Forever. Not enough. Okay, this was another thing my son had said. And I'm like, okay, I can agree with you there. However, I'm a patient person. Not enough Laurie Strode and too much Tommy and company. And Laurie's daughter was just irritating and out of place in this whole series. Again, I agree. Karen, I think, was meant to be an irritation. She was an irritating character. I wasn't upset at what happened. I don't think she was worthy enough to be Laurie's daughter. I have a lot of hope for Allison. My son did complain, Cameron, my 18-year-old, that there wasn't enough Jamie Lee Curtis. So he's like, what's the point? I'm like, the point is, bitch, is that it's leading up to Halloween Ends, which to me, again, no one's talking about, is she said something in the hospital that really stuck out to me, gave me all the goosebumps, and then I got a little upset in my heart. She said, again, everybody, it's a spoiler. If you've gotten this far, it's your fault.
Yeah.
She said, it's my head, so therefore it's Michael's head, or something like that. Like, she alluded to that she has to die in order for Michael to die. To me, so at first I was like, fuck, dude, you're right. But I want to know what that immortal connection between the two of them is, because they're not siblings in this universe, in this realm of Halloween. So what is the connection that would create? We saw Michael beaten, stabbed, shot, not stabbed in the head by fucking Karen. Duh. Like, why did you try stabbing him in the head, dumbass? Which is, again, my son's gripe. I think he missed the point that she was meant to be irritating.
Hey, don't forget about the lady who brought the iron.
The iron-wielding lady. Can anyone explain what you would do with an iron?
I got the iron with me.
If it's not
I got the
hot,
iron.
what are you going to do? Swing it? Like, what are you going to do? I was trying to figure this out. What are you going to do with a fucking iron?
Punch with it.
But then other people sat there and brought a hockey stick. What are you going to do? Play hockey? It ain't Jason. Like I was waiting for some guy come out with a hockey mask and with that with a freaking hockey puck. Like, seriously, that would have been awesome.
So Jelani Moon
and the Haddonfield Slashers jersey from geeky jerseys.
Like, so yeah, I just don't get it. But yeah, so he thought the character, Jelani's husband, she revealed it. He thought the characters were doing the stupidest thing, like the usual, why Inspector always leaves the house? But I told him it would be a short movie if all the characters were smart. That's another thing people are bitching about. You can't kill Michael Myers that way. This is why this was all so stupid. And I'm like, you idiots don't realize that these people don't know that. These people are still just common folk who think that he is a mortal being. They think that he's something that can be killed with an average weapon. Because, you know, it's all about protection. They didn't even bracket who had endured this dude who killed it, who his daughter was murdered by, didn't grasp that this is not just a mere man. He's out there busting all your asses, put Laurie Strode in the fucking hospital because, you know, she was the town badass before Michael came back, and put her ass in the hospital, burnt her fucking house down. These people don't know. So that's why I'm like, of course, there's people complaining that, oh, well, that was so dumb, that whole scene where they mobbed him. And I'm like, you guys are dumb. You guys aren't fans then. You guys have never watched Halloween before. They don't realize that he's unkillable. Okay? This is not how this works. So to me, I'm like, they're sitting here bitching and complaining because everybody's a fucking critic. The kills were, the way those town folks, yeah, that was the point. So that's my rant.
That sounds like someone who just isn't really a fan of horror movies in general, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, because when people talk about, because they pick on horror movies, not just, you know, all of them. Oh yeah, they always go toward the noise. They always go to investigate. It's like, well, if they, like you said, if they didn't, there'd be no horror movie.
Everything about horror films is bad choices, unfortunate circumstances.
Like the Geico commercial tells you.
Yeah, like my husband, he
let's hide behind all the chainsaws. Yeah, good job. Yeah, way to go.
I love that commercial, and I love that they play it at Halloween all the time. But like, my husband's always bragging about, oh well, you know, for example, when we moved to the PNW, he's like, I'll be walking around in shorts and tank tops in 60-degree weather. Who's the first one to complain that it's cold when his feet get cold? Okay, and it's like 60 and, you know what I mean? So it's like, again, I'm like, you're not a horror fan, but he's better at it. But it's just like that. It's like, if you guys don't know what horror is Giovanni, I want to know, is your husband a horror movie fan? Like, does he have a relationship with Michael Myers the way we all do?
The only problem that I had with the ending and stuff like that with the town folk, I think it all ended too quickly. It only
really
showed
fast.
it only showed like a little bit here and there. Like, you see the guy get the Achilles cut. You see the guy with the, he gets the knife through his arm. One guy gets, his throat slit. Brackett dies just like, and that got me another thing. Like, Brackett shouldn't have been like that close in the first place to go like do that. And it's like, come on. I mean, you're a former sheriff. I mean, maybe, you just went out so quickly, like Marion Chambers. It was just like a snap. But
Yeah.
Kylie Richards gets to live for some odd reason. And, the way that, Tommy, he was this badass all throughout the whole movie and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I just see it coming. And then he turns around and, comes at him. I'm like, stab. And it's like, really? Like, you didn't think what he was going to do? Like, why didn't you take a swing, like a full length of the bat, other than coming out like this? Like, I don't understand. And then, Michael did his Negan impression from The Walking Dead, and blink, and that's the end of Tommy. I thought it was awesome. I was like,
in the blood. Like,
yeah, I love that.
So
I didn't like that. I didn't like his face because it showed his, Anthony Michael's face. He's all like, I'm like, really? And then it kind of like dawned on me, like, okay, so you're this badass person because you're behind everybody else. Because you look at everybody else and he was just standing there like he froze.
Yeah.
Like, he knows what's going on. Like, whoa, wait a minute. And he's just taking everybody out one by one. And then he was the last one that was there. But I was like, well, wait a minute. What happened to these other people? Did they leave when Karen left, to go back to the Myers house? Because there was people that was surrounded by her, when the beatdown was going. There was a whole bunch of people that was there still that
you mean when she didn't stab him in the head? When she didn't stab him in the head?
Yeah. Well, after she stabbed him, and then, he goes, go back to your daughter. And then she went back to the Myers house. And then, that's when Brackett and everybody else started getting chopped off one by one. But I was like, wait a minute, there was like 20 to 30 people. What happened to everybody else? I'm wondering if half of them split up and they left with Karen, because it showed Karen with a whole bunch of people on the porch.
That would make
sense. On the Myers house, and then the rest still stood there.
But Michael made his way back home.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take care of this. But
so, Giovanni said that he. Oh, go ahead, Rob.
No, go ahead.
What? Okay, she said I made him watch the movie with me. I made him watch the movie with me. I know you're a definite horror. You're a huge horror fan. It's just funny. I do too. I watch all kinds of horror. My husband has endured. When we met, he was like, "You do that shit on your own." I used to have to watch all my horror films, like after everybody went to bed at night on the lowest volume. It was like being a teenager again, sneaking up to watch horror films. It was like that in my adulthood because I had to wait till everybody was asleep. Everybody's a fucking wuss in my house. But I also have kids that, I've gone to see horror films with. Cameron, my favorite, was my horror movie partner, and we'd go see everything together. So for him to disrespect this movie, to me, is he insulted me. So he's the only one I'm going to give like a lot of shit to, him and Len, because I think Len watched the wrong movie.
But and other people told me they didn't like it. But you know what? Everybody to their own opinion. Everybody is like, oh, it's like, oh, I didn't like it. It's because of this. I didn't like it because of this. I didn't like it because of this. Okay, well, I mean, to me, that's fine. It's not your cup of tea. It's not the way. Then you can go back to the old timeline of Halloween 1 and 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, H20, or Halloween into H20, the Resurrection, stuff like. I mean, there's different alternate universes that you don't, nobody liked because, it's because it's corny. But I mean, it was an hour and a 45-minute horror film. Most of them is like an hour 30.
Yeah. And
But,
that's another thing. Why
you
are
know,
horror movies so short? But that's the thing.
I
I
think
want
this
to
one could
know.
have been longer.
It could
I
have
wish it
been.
was kind of
Maybe
longer.
we'll
Yeah,
get.
Yeah, I wish it were
Maybe we'll
longer
get
too.
an Infinity War for the next length, an Infinity War length movie.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Michael just
I'm
snaps his
asking
finger and freaking the end of everybody.
another 5-10 minutes on this one. I would like to know I love the opinions, and this is why I wanted to do this show, is to talk about the varying opinions. I wanted to know why. Yeah, again, this movie was not made for haters. It was made for fans, and I completely agree. But then it's also like one of those films where they see an outsider would come in, new fans would say, "Oh, what is this hype about?" And it makes them go back and watch the original. Like with Candyman, I took my 15-year-old to see the new one. He had never seen Candyman before, and I'm like, "Who are you?" Again, I don't understand my kids. I feel like I've done the work, and I don't know. It's not my responsibility if they didn't remember. But he genuinely didn't see the original, but it made him want to go. He loved the remake, and I'm not a remake person, but I loved Candyman and the Candyman remake, reimaging, as I'll call it. I won't even call it a remake. It was a reimaging.
It's not a remake; it's a continuation.
I call it a continuized reimaging because it was beautiful. It was a beautiful film, a work of art.
But they had the same characters. They talked about the same characters in the original Candyman. So in a way, it's a continuation because they told on how she died, which actually did the storyline of the original Candyman.
We're not
on how she died, and she tried
Candyman.
to save the baby. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Well, hey, you know what? Candyman's been out for long enough. If you haven't seen it, you can buy $9.99 on Amazon.com.
And I think it's cheaper than that. But what it did, and here's what I love this is why I love indie film. This is why I love horror in general. Is no matter what time frame in your universe that you go in to watch a horror movie, whatever it does to take you back to go watch the gold that was before it. You know what I mean? I believe that Halloween was actually the foundation for independent horror films, especially slasher films. It was that movie. Rob, you have all the details. Don't get into them. That's a different show, but it's like. That movie was made on such a budget, and look what it is 42 years later. To me, that's the point of this. So have your opinions. Definitely have what you have to say about them. But I want to know what it is, because Halloween has never been one consecutive storyline. It was at first, but then you got thrown the loop with Season of the Witch. To me, that was the first, what the fuck? You get Season of the Witch, and then you get, like, a decade later, oh shit, it comes back with Halloween 4. I also think that Danielle Harris needs a role in this new franchise. I feel like, Jackson, you and I had talked about, are they going to include, because Halloween 18 included a lot of the Easter eggs and a lot of, paying respect to the other Halloween movies. But one of them that made me question something no one talked about, and I brought this up to you, was, and this is why I feel like Danielle Harris is an important figure in the Halloween franchise, is Halloween, even though John Carpenter hated Rob Zombie's rendition, there's a lot of us that actually loved it. I loved the story because we actually got one. Everything else before we don't get, we kind of get a story, but it's always back to Laurie and everything else. I liked Rob Zombie. I love Rob Zombie. It's one of my favorites. I can't say the same for his other films, but I love Rob Zombie's rendition. But what I wanted to know, and I want to get your perspective on this, Rob, because Jackson and I have talked about this before, even though I said we weren't going to talk about the other Halloween movies. I can't help this one. In Halloween 18, when he went after the podcasters, the chick in the bathroom, he came into a dirty-ass mechanic's bathroom, okay? And he drops the teeth over, and she's like, I asked Jackson, was that a homage to Rob Zombie's Halloween with Joe Grizzly? What do you think?
It could be, or it could be a throwback to Halloween H2O.
That's another thing I was thinking.
The mom and the daughter are inside the bathroom there, the rest area, and then then he steals the car.
Fuck, I was hoping it wouldn't go back to that one. I wanted it to be. I think Rob Zombie's version deserves a little respect in John Carpenter's realm. Like even with Blumhouse,
You know what I think?
that?
I think when he stomps Sartain's head is that.
No, I want to hear what Jackson says. What?
Oh, I think in 2018 when he stomps Sartain's head, I think that's like an homage to in Rob Zombie's Part 2 when he stomps Jeff Daniel Phillips's head. Except in Rob Zombie's, he has to stomp like three or four times, and then in 2018 they went, let's up the ante. He only needs one stomp.
That's a good one. I also am the kind of person who thought that when Officer Francis was lit up like a jack-o'-lantern, that was like, hey, that's a Terrifier moment. Completely different.
I love that. I love that was still there too.
I love that they brought it back too. I was really happy.
and his partner got a small cameo role in a dead scene, just still sitting there.
He did.
In the cop car. But there was, I think there was a homage to it, to Rob's Zombie's Halloween, because in the beginning of Kills, he was saying that as a young Michael and stuff like that he would pluck the wings off of flies or butterflies or something like that.
I did pick up on that. I picked that up too. I just didn't think to mention it. Good. Fuck, do you see why I wanted you guys to do this show with me? You see it? You get it? Mm-hmm. I can't talk about this stuff with anyone else but you guys. Epic, Rob, because I fucking forgot about that, but it did cross my mind like, oh yeah. We know another rendition of Michael Myers that, was killing off creatures and shit like that. So I would love, these are one of the things that I hope that one day, any three of us can pose these questions to the writers, like, Ryan Turek or Danny McBride. I feel like one day we could run into, I would love to pose these questions, but in the meantime, we're fans. We're the ones that fuel, we fuel these epic conversations, and I'm loving, I honestly couldn't wait for the reviews to come in. I couldn't believe there was so much hate. But it's so interesting because, again, that goes on varying opinions. I could easily say that people who hated the film were also people who liked Conjuring 3, which was a horrible, horrible film. Jackson and I are going to do a show on remakes because I loathe remakes. But here, what did it for me was the Pet Sematary remake. And this is a preview of Jackson and I having a conversation, which I'm not going to be nice at all. Pet Sematary, I remember I was pissed because that's one of my favorite movies. It scared the fuck out of me as a kid. It still gives me the goosebumps. Probably one of the scariest books I've ever read. And
I love the book. The book was good.
The book was epic, but I was pissed at it was a definite corporate rush thing for them to keep the title and the rights to Pet Sematary. It pissed me off. And this is why I'm such an independent horror movie fan. And I feel like Blumhouse, I'm really glad that Halloween 18, this trio, this Trinity, got put with Blumhouse, because to me, Blumhouse hasn't forgotten that they were nothing a decade ago. Jason Blum was just a small independent horror filmmaker, and now he's this great powerhouse who puts out a lot of great films and a lot of not great films. But the thing is, he puts them out, and to me, it's humble. Like, this whole Trinity is humble, and it's for fans by actual fans of the franchise. So we're going to talk about remakes on another show. Jackson.
Sure.
I'm like, look, it's lucky that we have an established relationship because that Pet Sematary remake is not okay at the fuck all. Anyway, so we'll wrap it up. Do you guys have any more questions, or not questions, but any more comments about Halloween Kills?
No, I don't.
That you want to put out there? Rob, what do you have coming up in the near future? Are you enjoying October, just enjoying it and creating what you're creating? What are your plans for the next couple of weeks, the next week, less than a week?
Let's see. Last Saturday was St. Jude's thing.
That was
I got a small photo shoot with a couple of cosplayers this Saturday. The following Saturday will be Scare Fair out in Victorville.
Yeah, the Victimville show.
Pick the bill. And then I think November 7th, I'm so happy, the return of Terror Market.
Yes.
Oh.
That is
Yes,
a great fucking Jackson. If you can go to that, go. That's a good
out in
show.
Burbank.
Yeah,
It
there's
will be at the Blast from the Past parking lot across the street from the Mystic Museum.
Oh, all right.
great venue
On
and
Magnolia.
great show producer. Like I love Little Shop of Gore. So that's a good one. What do you have going on, Jackson? Are you doing your Halloween performance?
Yes, definitely. That's the only thing I have coming up is Halloween. Is every year my friend Brian and I, we do our Halloween performance in Reseda at his front. This year it's going to be in his front yard again. Because last year, because of COVID, obviously we had no audience, so we had to.
Yes, you did. I was watching.
Well, I mean, we had no physical audience there, and yes,
Right.
and people have watched the videos, which was cool. But yeah, so we had to live stream it, and but this year, okay, just real quick for people watching, listening. My friend and I, we have this. He's been doing this for like over 20 years. He dresses as a skeleton and juggles dangerous shit. And when I met him, he was doing that with recorded music, and it was always heavy metal too. So he and I became instant friends for our love of metal and horror. And after taking my daughter to see him perform for a couple of years, I said, hey, why don't I dress as Michael Myers and bring my guitar and just play heavy metal riffs to what you're doing? And it adds an element of weird to it because it's just me, not a whole band backing him up. So I can't play songs in their entirety because there are parts without drums and vocals and stuff that you can't juggle to. So I have to pick the specific riffs that work. Whenever he's juggling knives on his unicycle, I always do the Halloween theme. And this year I'm doing things different because I've switched. I'm not taking my guitar. I'm going to be playing my bass, which will be to some people it's funny how a lot of people don't even notice the difference, but also a lot of people will watch our show and go, hey dude, you should play the Halloween theme. I'm going, I just did that. But hey, they enjoyed it, so it's all good. But no,
I wonder what they thought of Halloween Kills.
well, they should have liked it. But yeah, like last year because we were doing it live streaming and everything, I tried to make the most of it, and I took a different costume for each performance we did. This year I'm just going to stick with I'm going to go kind of come here with I'm going to go for like the flashback from Halloween Kills, because this I have this one that my buddy who makes my masks for me, he's out of England, and he made this for me as a birthday present last year. And he had seen some I don't know if he saw clips or just images of the flashback sequences from Halloween Kills, and I think this was originally I think this may have been a Trick or Treat Studios 2018 mask, and he rehauled it to kind of match those flashback scenes. And I was so excited to see the mask in those scenes because I didn't know. I was like, well, I wonder how he was able to get, how close he was able to get. And in some of the shots, I was like, dude, nailed it. And so I figured this year, because I haven't had time or money this year to make a new costume at all, and I haven't gotten the mask for Halloween Kills yet, or I'm waiting for him to make one, and I'll buy one from him because I don't have that skill, and his look great. So I'll do that, and then hopefully by next year I'll be able to make the coveralls for it, and I'll do that next year. But yeah, so that's what we got Halloween.
Are you streaming the show again? Because I want to watch.
Probably, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, I'll set it up so that it's at least on Instagram Live, and I'm sure my friend Brian's wife Peggy will probably put it on Facebook Live as well.
Okay, because I have to say that the little bit I remember of Halloween 2020 was that it was a full moon. It was awesome. And I did my usual revelry, which involved me drinking copious amounts of Jägermeister and Monster, plus all my other activities. I was fucked up. Your show was my favorite part of the night. And I had a good night, Like, me and my kids, we watched it. We tried to put it on the projector, because we had a projector going in the backyard with, all of our horror films. It was just us because, it was just my family. Me and my kids and my husband dressed up. Well, the kids dressed up. We didn't. We just indulged in our typical, we do this anyways. Halloween, I would say the real Halloween people stay home. We don't really do a lot of stuff on Halloween night. We're the ones giving out candy and shit, but your performance was an added bonus to what was already a really chill Halloween night. So
Awesome.
and
Thank you.
I loved it. So if you guys are watching, follow Jackson and definitely tune in if you can, even just for a little while on Halloween night. Rob, what are you doing on Halloween night?
Nothing.
See?
Nothing.
See? Halloween fans stay home and do our own thing.
Well, I don't know. I still got to go and put up. I might hand out candy or something. I still got the 2 blow up Michael Myers, yard, blow up things.
They're so cute. I passed one today.
Okay, they're still sitting in the box because I don't want them to sit out there because I know that I think somebody on eBay was selling them for like $100 and something bucks.
Ooh.
So I got one without the knife, but he's holding the pumpkin, and then the other one that says Stabby Halloween, and he's holding up a little flyer.
Oh, cool.
And that was a Hot Topic exclusive that I was lucky that I really honed in on, that they emailed me and stuff. So I was like, oh, I'm getting these 2. So I might just have those 2, and I just might sit in the middle of them and find out which one is the real.
See, we give out the candy. We give out the candy. Like, we're the ones. I'm excited to, we have a basement, and it's Halloween. It's the basement is filled with Halloween stuff. I know it doesn't look like much, but again, it's on camera. Like, I'm really proud of my basement because it's Halloween, even the bathroom, like vintage Halloween stuff. I have a corner that I'm working on my Michael Myers back there. It's going to be all Michael Myers stuff, but it has to be good Michael Myers shit. But I had told my kids, I was like, dude, where we live, again, I know I brag about this a lot. I love the Northwest. I love it up here so much. I love the PNW so fucking much. It is October. I can feel it, okay? I can feel October for the first time. All the shit that I've wanted to feel my whole life, I feel it here. So what do we do on Halloween? I'm not going to change tradition. We're going to stay home, and the kids can go out trick-or-treating because there's actually, unlike our previous neighborhood, there's actually houses already. Hi, Miko. There's already houses decorated. I'll take a picture, and I'll post it tomorrow after I drive by again with the inflatable. The Michael Myers, but my kids can actually go out and not have to walk 2 miles to find 4 houses giving out candy. There's houses all around us that are already decorated that I assume will hand out candy. I told them they can invite their vaccinated friends over. Let me know ahead of time so I can make treats. But I'm staying the fuck home in my new fucking pajamas that I took off for the show tonight. I'll show those later. And I'm enjoying the fuck out of Halloween. It may even rain here on Halloween.
Oh, wow.
I'm stoked. I'm going to be sitting up on my couch with my horror movies and popcorn and my copious amounts of Jaeger and Monster. I love Halloween night is meant for we do this shit all year long. We do it all year. It's our one night to just chill, in my opinion.
Well, it's also the fact that it falls on a Sunday, so I don't know on how many people and kids will be out. And then also last year because of COVID, this kind of thing, that I have no idea what's going to happen. I remember 2 years ago, I went to go watch Halloween 2018 in the movie theater on Halloween. I think it was playing in IMAX. I think it was playing in IMAX at that time. And I was like, dude, I'm just going to go watch. And I went to the last showing, for it. And I was like, you know what? This is what it is. Because I don't have AMC, so I can't watch, their little scare fest. And I'd rather go I just go and put it in on, just on digital, just to click and go, you know what? I don't want to watch 2.5 hours of commercials. I can just go because I'm like at the end of 3, like one's just ending or something. So,
it's funny you mentioned that. I love Fear Fest. Commercials and all.
Well,
I leave it on for
if it's on, honestly. It's on.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. If I see Star Wars, I'm going to put it on TNT. I don't care if it's got commercials or not. I'm watching it, But just to let you know, because you did mention Halloween 3. So there was a thing with Tommy Lee Wallace. Did you ever see the Netflix series, Movies That We Love or Movies That We Grew Up With or something like that?
Was it Movies That Made Us?
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah.
So they have
I haven't seen that.
They have a Halloween one. They have a Halloween one. They have a horror section. They got Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Ghostbusters, and I think a couple of more like, October horror type stuff. But he sat there and says the reason why they were just going to name it Season of the Witch, but because Universal owned the right to Halloween, saying, no, we need to make this a franchise. They were supposed to make like Halloween whatever, and it was supposed to be different chapters. So it's not really their fault. Universal sat there and said, we're going to make a giant franchise out of this. Sat there and says, we're going to name it Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Because if they just name it Season of the Witch, they were afraid. No.
Where did he go? Where'd he go? Are you there, Jackson?
I'm here.
Did Michael get him? Where did he go? Do you know?
Oh, shit, he did.
Off? Did Michael get robbed? Well, until he comes back, to me, though, part of the fun about Season of the Witch is the whole franchise. Like, it's just like a what the fuck, and that's what I love about it. There you are.
Here he comes.
It's like, did Michael get you?
I have no idea. It just like shut. It just like shut down. It was like weird.
He's dead.
Miko said he's dead. It
shut down. I don't know.
Look, it says, is that what Horn Color said? Is that what happens when anyone mentions that third one?
It's like saying Macbeth in the theater.
They're saying you can't say that, man. But kick them off the air.
I love the whole point of, and I'll watch that. I'm just not watching Netflix until tomorrow, Thursday, for other reasons because, being an activist and all. I'm on a Netflix protest for right now. But I love Squid Game. But I do want to watch that. I have heard about it before. And, it's funny because I've always wondered, but I also like the appeal, like the fact that my husband gets so flustered, but also can't stop watching Season of the Witch. It's funny watching like a non-Halloween franchise person go, well, what the fuck is this? But I also love this movie too. Like Chuck loves Season of the Witch. He can endure that one. I made him sit and watch Halloween 4 with me.
I love Halloween 4.
Like, I don't hate it, but him and I've always been bothered by Loomis's. This is always the flaw. Loomis's goddamn fucking scar. Like that aggravates the shit out of me.
Then they change it after a scene or two because they said that's too distracting. But they'd already filmed it, yeah. That was my first Halloween movie.
Was it? Okay.
That was my first one.
That's so funny. But that's why I think that's the importance of Danielle Harris. Like, she's still an integral part of the franchise. And I love that Rob Zombie gave her that moment. She's a great actress.
Yeah,
even in her adult life. And she's hot as fuck for, MILF. Like, I would love to see them give her a little bit of a role in. I wish she was Karen, to be honest with you. I wish they would have cast her as Karen instead of Allison. But the casting is great because Allison looks just like her dad and her mom.
Yeah, that was really done well.
A person said, would you guys have fought back as a firefighter in Halloween Kills? Honestly, if I'm going to die at the hands of Michael Myers, if you see my Instagram picture today, I will turn around, take a selfie, and say, go for it. I wouldn't fight back against Michael Myers because to me, that's the ultimate way to go. I'm honored to die by his throat. But would you guys, if you were a firefighter, fought back?
I don't know. I think after I saw him take out the first couple, I'm running. I was like, I got a kid at home I want to get home to. But I'm booking it.
I'm as much power that the fire hose actually does or can do.
Yeah, because the fact that doesn't push him.
And in fact, I mean, you can watch Jackass and freaking the guy's going like 120 yards in just a snap of the finger from the firefighter, And then here's, playing, and he's just walking towards it like it's a water sprinkler, and you're just like, just something's going on with this. I'm gone.
I'm out of here.
It's like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
I like your joke, Miko. He's immune to H2O. I like your joke. Pun intended. What's funny is that was another argument in our house because my husband, again, I'm into firefighters. I have a fetish or something, but I love. Firefighters always to me the real heroes because they do the work, they're fearless. This is why the three of us are not fucking firefighters because our asses would run. Firefighters would have fought back. Like real firefighters But here you have people like my husband and my 18-year-old son Cameron going, well, that fire hose wasn't turned on all the way. I'm like, haters. You guys are Michael Myers haters.
That's horror movie. Yes, it was turned on all the way, and it was probably even super strength.
And my husband's like, Chuck's like, there's only one fireman holding it. I'm like, fuck off. Shut the fuck up.
Only one that we saw.
Here's the thing and stuff, and I just totally remembered, and I was like, dude, I got to go back to Trick or Treat Studios to go get a prop. I have to go get the prop, like, from The Shining, because he impaled a couple of firefighters while they were laying there.
Wait. Say that again.
Okay, so the axe for the firefighters, right?
Yeah.
That they carry, you see him like holding it because he's got the, his weapon, and then they're gripping the actual axe, right? The firefighter axe. So I'm like thinking like, okay, so now I got to go and sit there and order an axe through Trick or Treat Studios, because it looks like the axe that Jack Torrance had from The Shining, and I got to go and bloody that all up and stuff like that. And I got to go and use it as a prop at some point with that too.
Do it. And tag, make sure you hashtag firefighter awesomeness right there. Be like, firefighters ain't mad Michael Myers got them. They're probably honored. I mean,
Myers loves firefighters.
Please, Bob, would you do it?
Loves
Could you do it?
What?
All right, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to wrap it up. We'll continue this conversation because we have gone on. Jackson, I have put hashtags for everyone who wants to follow, but you need to follow these two. These are my favorite, two of my favorite human beings on the planet.
I need to start posting again.
You have lives. I told someone else, like, don't worry about social media. The people who love you will be there when you feel like coming back. Social media takes time and energy, and sometimes like, fuck, can we just like October? But make sure that you guys follow both Jackson and Rob, the real Michael Myers, and Jack Odinson, 1975. See how I did it right? I'm not that drunk. And then, of course, me. You're clearly already doing that. I will have a conversation converted to audio for those of you who are sitting in traffic and want to listen to my voice. Happy Halloween, Giovanni. The boogeyman can get me all he wants. But I too have kids to go home. Make sure you stay tuned. I'm probably going to get back into doing shows in November. We'll see. And you guys, thank you so much for doing this tonight. I know you're both busy as fuck. And having this conversation with, a weird orange-haired weirdo. AKA your friend.
Our dear friend.
I'm just painting, so I'm not doing anything.
And talking to me. And
yes, and talking to everybody else. Yes.
You guys are the bomb, and thank you so much. And I know I'll talk to you guys soon. And anyone watching, happy Halloween, and thank you for watching.
Yes. Bye.